Hello everyone and welcome back to some more computer nonsense. Today we are going to be installing this very legit copy of Windows Vista on the 2006 MacBook Pro. Now you might think, why on earth would you want to do this? Well, you wouldn't. I just thought it would be fun. So in a previous video, we installed an SSD into the 2006 MacBook Pro. So what better thing to install on a nice fresh SSD than Windows Vista? Why not? So we're going to put in the super drive. And we're going to hope that the super drive actually works, because they are notoriously unreliable in every way, and it will probably just blow up and spit the disk out. And that'd be a brilliant start. I've no idea what service packs this disk has. I literally just downloaded it from archive.org and burnt it, and here we are. Now, Windows Vista, I have a kind of soft spot for. Like, I quite like the way it looks, and I've personally never had a problem, because I never used it when it was brand new, which I think is how I got away with it. Because the problem with Windows Vista was that when it came out, it was much heavier than Windows XP was. So I guess it's kind of like making the jump from GTA 3 straight to GTA 5. Like, the computers couldn't cope, and it was... Yeah, this is not booting from the disk. You're lying to me. Stab it. Try that again. Essentially, computers at the time, most of them couldn't handle Windows Vista. And that meant that people were like, oh my god, Windows Vista's terrible. But it was actually their computer was just not ready for it. And there were other issues where new operating system, new kernel, drivers weren't cross-compatible, so old printers, etc. weren't working, and there were various things that caused Windows Vista to gain its reputation of being terrible. And also it was unstable. I think Service Pack 2 and all the updates should be absolutely fine. I've never had it crash more than any other version of Windows. So it might be fine. I have no idea why holding down Option is not bringing up the boot menu. This is a great start. I'm not trying to hold down C or do anything creative. I'm just trying to get the boot menu to come up. There we go. Right. Windows. We'll see what happens. There's a piece of dust right there. There we go. Is it going to work? Is it going to work? Okay, that's a good start. That's a good start. Again, why are we installing it from a disk? Well, old MacBooks and Windows do not like the USB. Booting from USB installers into Windows on a Mac does not work properly. It doesn't boot in the correct mode, and drivers break, and it does all sorts of funky things that you don't want it to do. So we are just going to use the classic old shove a DVD in the slot and go with that method, because it tends to be more reliable. This should be really fun, because I've also only ever used Windows Vista on a mechanical hard drive. So I'll be very excited to see how it performs on an SSD, because my Latitude E6400 still has its original hard drive in it. So I haven't had this experience before. I mean, I'm not saying this is going to keep Windows Vista on it. It most likely is not. This will be a fun project, and then it will get obliterated into something else at some other point. Something that I do need to do is download the Boot Camp drivers, because I do have my Snow Leopard disk somewhere. The where is not currently known, so we're not going to do that today. I'm going to head onto the internet and I'm going to download that while we're here, because without it we will have 640 by 480 and no sound, and it will just be terrible. Where am I going to find this then? I don't need update. I want, like, the snow. I'm still dying. The Snow Leopard disc. I think it's like 3 point something. Is it 3.1? I think it's 3.1. Bootcamp software update. Bootcamp support version 3. There we go. Found it. It's an ISO image. I can probably extract it and just run the installer from the files, so that'll be fine. There we go. Okay. So we're going to select English United Kingdom. Install tomorrow. Do I have a product key to hand? I don't. Can I skip this for now? No, just let me bypass it. I'll do it later. Can you even activate Windows Vista anymore? We're obviously going to go to Windows Vista Ultimate. And install. And install. Custom. We should just have the not the blank SSD, but the macOS partition that we're going to nuke. So drive options, delete, and delete. And there we go. New. Oh, is it not going to let me format it as GPT from... Can I format? Can you not do this from within the installer? That's really stupid if I can't do that. Google! There's probably a command, right? There's probably a command. Bring up CMD Windows Vista installer. I can't remember what the keyboard command is. Shift F10. There we go. Okay. Disk part. Right, how do I format using this? I don't remember how to do it. Does that format? I can't remember. Okay, does that work? That's fine. Okay, cool. There we go. What? Hello? I don't think we'd have problems already. But it would be GPT formatted. Because it would... Huh? I'm confused now. Because it would be GPT formatted, because if it was a dual boot, it would have macOS on it already. Huh? I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. Oh. Right, so it is already... So it's fine. Why is it being stupid? What? I don't understand. I cannot comprehend. Hiren's boot CD. Where's Hiren's? That's not Hiren's. That's not Hiren's. That's Hiren's. My guess is maybe it's like it just hasn't formatted it properly because Windows Vista installer is dumb. And if I do this and this and then this and this, let it reboot, hold down the power button because I'm lazy. Why are things dumb? This is not the bit I thought would be complicated. This is not the bit I thought would be complicated. Like, Windows XP wouldn't install a GPT disk, would it? I don't know. Does Boot Camp inject drivers? I can't remember how this works. It's been so long since I've tried to do this. Come on. Thank you. Eject. Oh, good. There we go. I was about to say the disk didn't come out. There we go. Right, Hiren's boot CD in. Let the disk spin up. Wait for it to show up. Stupid. Already stupid. Is it gonna show up? Hello? Not frozen. Hold down the C key on boot. Why are things always complicated? Like, this really shouldn't be hard, but it's just decided to make it that way. Come on. All I need to do is boot into Hiren so I can wipe the disk. That's a blank screen. Okay. What? Well, that didn't work, did it? Why does Hiren's not work? That seems really, really stupid. Like, really stupid. Do I have a Windows 7 installer? Because I'm sure the Windows 7 installer would not break this quickly. That's a recovery disk for a specific computer. That's not going to work. Do I? Anywhere? Probably not. Try using this thing from before. That's not going to be on here, though, is it? Why does Hiren's not work? Please tell me in the comments why Hiren's doesn't work on a MacBook Pro. That seems really dumb and annoying. I have do I have any Windows, like newer versions of Windows that I can use to format this disk and it might work and make it work? These are all going to be like XP and older, because these are on CDs. I don't know what to do already. This is a great start. Let me go make a Windows 7 USB.
The next day.
Okay, we have this now. So we are going to try and use that to our advantage to format the hard drive again, and then try again. I genuinely don't know what the problem is at this point. This is a really weird one. I've never had Windows literally say, I can't be installed. Like, that's... God, that sounds horrible. This needs to stop. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I've never had Windows just be like, I can't be installed here. Like, I've never just had that happen before. That's so weird. Anyway, we'll try reformatting the drive with the Snow Leopard installer, and then installing the Windows Vista disk again, and see if that does anything useful. Because otherwise I'm already out of ideas. Like, what do I do? Put in target disk mode and, like, install it that way? I don't know. Come on, read the disk. We discover it was the disk drive all along. Although that would be even weirder because the disk drive had nothing to do with what was going on. Anyway, weird. Come on. Is it... Hello? Okay. We're not going to do that, apparently. We're going to do that. C. This laptop's being really weird now. I'm sure this is much harder than it needs to be, and this could have just worked already. Now I have got the boot camp drivers ready, so if we ever make it to the Windows desktop, it will we'll have something to do. I'm going to speed this bit up because booting Snow Leopard from a disk will probably take about 5 minutes. Yeah, so it took about 3.5 minutes to get to this point, but that's fine. If this works, then that will have been worth the wait. I mean, I can't... Why it didn't work the first time, I will not know. But anyway, utilities. Disk utility. And we're going to make it master boot record and blank. And see what happens. So there's the SSD. So it says it's master boot record already, but it wasn't working, so we're just going to do one partition. Obviously we will make it like proper later, but we'll just format it as MS-DOS now so that it shows up in the installer. Partition complete. Okay, so we're going to quit. We're going to back out. We're going to quit the installer. And we're going to restart. And then we're going to swap the disks again. So I also ended up speeding up this part of the video because it took forever to even detect the disk. The actual loading files bit didn't take that long. But getting it to detect the disk and actually start booting took at least 45 seconds for whatever reason. Okay, we've made it back to where we were before. So we'll see if we're going to make any more progress this time. If not, what I'm currently doing is setting up Windows Vista on a hard drive so that it can boot from USB, and that might work. I don't know. But we'll see if this works. So, Windows Vista. Next. I accept. Next. Custom. Please work. I know it needs to be NTFS, that's fine. Come on. Okay. Okay. We won. The camera's focus is not winning, though. I'm going to see... Can I make this... Come on. I lift it up slightly. Will that make the focus better? I don't know. Progress has been made. I don't know why it didn't work the first time. I do not know. Clearly the formatting of something just broke everything, and I don't know why. But it works now, so that's good. Yeah. Welcome to the Windows Vista installer. So, Windows Vista is, as I think I mentioned, I quite like Windows Vista. I quite like the way it looks. It has some cool features. And I think it's a bit more unique than Windows 7. Windows 7 is fabulous, but it's quite boring. I think Windows Vista is a little bit more interesting. And more era correct for this laptop, because this laptop's from 2006. And then when Boot Camp was introduced, Vista would have just come out, basically. So Vista is the most... XP Vista are like the most era-appropriate Windows operating systems for this laptop. Now, this might take a while, so speed up time. While we wait for it to install, I thought I would give you a little sneak peek of something else that I've got, which I'm excited about. This is a Dell Latitude C400, which is very cool. The issue is right now is these don't support USB booting, and it obviously doesn't have an optical drive. So currently, other than taking the hard drive out, I have no way to install an operating system on it. There are plenty of the optical drives on eBay, but none of them have the cable. And without the cable, can't really do a lot with it. So, yeah, that's not going to work particularly well. So a bit like how Windows XP was a huge upgrade over previous versions, Windows Vista was the same. It completely changed the user interface to the new Aero aesthetic, which included some crazy complicated 3D elements. It had a new search system, improved file explorer, completely rewritten everything pretty much, including an entirely new driver console, which is why old printers etc. were hugely problematic for Windows Vista. So upon the most recent reboot, we have been greeted with nothing. So we're going to do that. And we're going to turn it off. And then we're going to do that and eject the disk in case it's decided that that's now the problem. Because it shouldn't need the disk anymore. I hope. Keyword is shouldn't. And hope and prayers and all of that. Come on, spit it out. Spit it out. Spit it out. There we go. Right. Disk is out. Now, why are we still white screen of sad? Like, it's rebooted once already. It can boot. It can boot. It did. Hold on the power button. Power it back on. With the disc out and just see if it works now. Come on. Nope. Why do you hate me? Hold down Option and see if it shows up in the boot picker. It says Windows, so enter. Well, at least the blank screen is not grey this time. Okay, so it can boot. It just didn't want to choose the correct startup disk for whatever reason. Okay. That might be fixed when we install the boot camp drivers. That might just be an issue that, for the moment. Now, I can't remember. Is there more setup or are we done? The cursor's back. And the cursor got smaller, so we have some form of video driver. Oh, hello. Okay. Progress. That's not capitalization. There we go. Slidey, slidey. Oops. And I always go with the doggy, because the doggy's cute. There we go. 2006 MacBook Pro. Next. We're going to install like Service Pack 2 and stuff anyway, because I'm not sure if any of that is installed. There we go. Is this the bit where it now, like, checks your computer's performance? Is that now? Because Windows 7 does it before. Yeah, so Windows 7 does it before that screen. Vista does it afterwards. Essentially, all this is doing is running Windows Experience Index in the background. That's all that this does. Which is really stupid because none of the drivers are installed yet, so running Windows Experience Index is completely pointless and will give an entirely inaccurate result. Which is really smart. Connect and communicate like never before. It's now safer and easier to connect. In 2006, yeah, I would not want to go on the internet with this right now without any patches installed. It did, to be fair, the photo tools and stuff in Windows Vista are actually quite good. Like, there are genuinely some pretty decent tools. Like, the Media Movie Maker and stuff in Vista's okay. Like, it's fine. So, these are not outrageous claims. What's next? Connect, play, and have fun. I mean, you get Inkball with Windows Vista, which is, like, the best included Windows game ever, so that's fair. Windows Vista had pretty decent DirectX support. It was better than Windows XP's. So things like Halo 2 require Windows Vista because of DirectX, I think. Actually, I don't actually think there is a reason. I think Halo 2 is just them bollocking around. The search in Windows Vista was hugely better than the search in Windows XP. If anything, I think Windows Vista and like Windows 7 search is better than the current Windows 11 search. I have so many issues with searching on modern Windows, it's ridiculous. So I know that macOS, like all the Get a Mac ads made fun of this, but it was a huge improvement over Windows XP. Hugely improved. A more secure environment, yeah. User account control was introduced in Windows Vista. It was introduced a bit too aggressively, like it would come up way too often, and the messages were kind of threatening, which is why in Windows 7 it got a little bit of an overhaul, but that's where user account control stems from. Getting more done just got more fun. What does that mean? Oh, well, I guess because it looks nicer, maybe. And then we're back to the start. Right, I'm going to come back once this is done because I really don't know how long this is going to take. And here we are on the logon screen. Now, I'm interested if this is going to have any of the drivers for this laptop, because obviously this laptop is older than Windows Vista. So technically, Windows Vista should have a lot of the software. We are obviously going to update the software, but we shall see what happens. So that's quite fun. Well, it has Aero. We have Aero. You zoom the camera in ever so slightly. There we go, that's a bit better. So there's the welcome center. So we have no audio, unless it's just muted. Yeah, so there's no audio. The trackpad is not working particularly well. But we seem to have the graphics drivers. Anyway, USB flash drive is going to have to go on this side. And we're going to grab the boot camp drivers, which I have put on this flash drive. There it is. This trackpad driver is, yeah, not working very well. So we need... Oh, hang on. Didn't I copied it straight to the USB stick. Okay, we'll run it off the flash drive then. So setup. And we'll hope it just works. There we go. Boot camp. Is it? Did I get a version that's too new? Is the version too new? Because I did install 64-bit, didn't I? I can't right click. That's really, really helpful. Did I install 32-bit by accident? I don't think I did. I can't right click on the computer icon to bring up the thing. System properties. There we go. Okay. No, I did. Okay, so I installed 64-bit. It says we have 3 GB of RAM, which is not true. There's 4. And this is not even Service Pack 1. Okay. I think I downloaded a version of Boot Camp that's too new. So allow me to go and download an older version. I completely forgot that I had gone to get my Snow Leopard disc, which has Boot Camp drivers on it. So we'll see if that will do anything. Run setup. Okay, well that works. So my USB stick was pointless, that's fine. I accept, next, next, go. Go, go, go. And while that installs, I'm going to plug my USB stick back into my iMac. I find the bloody hole. iMac's designed, I'm not designed for USB sticks. And we're going to make sure that we have Windows Vista Service Pack 1 and 2. Because it doesn't even have Service Pack 1 installed, which is a bit terrifying. So, Windows Vista Service Pack 1 for x64 based systems. Download. This doesn't have NVIDIA graphics, so I don't know why it's doing that. That seems a bit silly. And I'm going to delete some stuff off the flash drive because there's way too much on it now to the point where nothing fits. We'll see. We'll see if they fit. So there we go. We have Windows Vista Service Pack 2. I've also got Legacy Update so that we can actually try and update Windows properly. But Windows Vista, it just looks nice. It just does. It just looks nice. It does just look nice. So we'll vibe with that for now. Well, it seems to be installing absolutely fine. I am confused by the fact that we only have 3 GB of RAM, though, because we definitely have 4. We definitely have 4, so that's a bit weird. But never mind. Never mind indeed. I'm going to have to try and find a product key that actually works, because Windows Vista activation is probably not going to work these days, and I'll probably have to do other things, but we shall see. It might be easy. I don't know. The time and date are horrifically incorrect, but that's not surprising at all. Now, the interesting what version of Boot Camp this is, and if I can update it. I doubt I can. I don't know what version comes with the Snow Leopard disc. It's probably like version 2. That's my guess. Version 2? Come on, you. Installing device driver software. For the audio. There you go. Audio device installed. It is not working yet. That was Service Pack 1 copying. And Service Pack 2. What do you mean there's not enough disk space? I just deleted like 5 things from the USB stick. Are you... What? Fine. I will drag them to the bin. Because apparently pressing the delete key doesn't do anything. Sure. There we go. We have a command prompt window. That's entertaining. There we go. We have audio now. It's installing drivers for an external cinema display, which I do have. I do have an Apple 23-inch cinema display, which would work beautifully with this laptop. They're from the same design era. They both... This has got a DVI, so that would work really nicely, actually. Because I'm pretty sure this has DVI. It does. Because that's the issue. I would use the cinema display instead of the Dell display as my test monitor, but I only have VGA out of most of my old computers, so I'd need a VGA to DVI adapter, and then we could use it. So I might get one of those. That might be a nice thing to do. This is taking significantly longer than I thought it would, but then again, we're on a disc again, so I can't really say I'm surprised by that. I will come back when I have a button to click. Click Finish to quit the installer. Okie dokie. Do you want to restart? Yes, I do. And then it's going to get upset because the disc is back in, so I'm going to press left click and hope it spits it out and doesn't break. Oh no! No, spit it, spit it, spit it. Spit it out. Spit it out. Spit it out. Spit. Oh my god, spit the disc out. No. There we go. Oh my god. Right, now it's going to have broken itself, so I'm going to have to turn it off. Turn it on. Option. I should, because we have Boot Camp software installed now, I should be able to set the startup disk, which should prevent this from happening every single time, which is nice. Come on. Like, the boot time should be instant. It's on an SSD, but it's going to be slow as balls because the computer's being stupid. Oh well. I'm sure it will be fine. See, it boots really quickly once it decides that it can, so that's good. Or it doesn't. Did it blue screen? Did it blue screen? Did it blue screen? Uh-oh. And again, it's not going to do the thing, so off, on, option. Installing Apple official drivers has broken the install, I think. Is it going to come up with the thing that says boot in safe mode? That's the question. No? Okay. Maybe that was supposed to happen. Maybe it's like still installing stuff. I'm wishing. That's very wishful thinking. I'm sure it's just broken. Did it crash again? No, okay, it was probably supposed to do that then. Okay. Sure. We'll go with that was on purpose. If I can type, that would help. That was a bit terrifying. I was like, oh, great, it bricked itself. It hasn't. We're all right. Everything's fine. Okay, so I've done a bit of research, and Windows Vista, even if you have product keys, which I do, is only activatable via the phone. So I'm going to have to phone them up in order to try and get this to work. And I've also realised that the only product keys I have are for Windows Vista Business. So there's two options of how this will go. I will either come back and this will be activated because I managed to get it to work, or I'll come back and I'll have Windows Vista Business reinstalled and that will be activated because I had to do a complete reinstall because I'm an idiot. It'll be one of the two. You'll find out now. Well, I couldn't get it to activate. I've tried like 20 different things and it's not having it, so I'm out of ideas. I don't have any Windows Vista Ultimate product keys. I could go on eBay and buy one, but whether that would work or not is another question because currently I can't get it to work at all. So that's brilliant. I'm literally typing it into eBay right now to see if I can find one. Windows Vista Ultimate. 32-bit, 64-bit. Business. So I could get a copy for like £40, but is it really worth it for the sake of installing it on a MacBook Pro for a laugh? I'm not entirely convinced by that. We might just use the 30-day trial and then explode it at some point. Are there any if I just like Google and go onto Google Shopping? Well, there's no shopping tab. That shows that the answer to that question is 9. There is not. There's lots of Windows 7 product keys. There's lots of Windows 7 product keys. There are not a lot of Windows Vista ones. I can buy a book to Windows Vista. That's not what I want. So basically, we can't activate it, so that's a bit of a shame. If you have a solution to that problem, without me spending £40 tomorrow, which is not going to happen, let me know, and we will review this situation later. But we have successfully installed Windows Vista on the 2006 MacBook Pro, and it would work beautifully apart from that problem right there. It got a 4.2 on the Windows Experience Index, so I'm assuming, wow, the graphics outperformed the CPU. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. Like, ever seen that happen before. I don't know how well you can read these, it's quite small. But it got a higher score for 3D graphics than it did for CPU. That's kind of wild and cool, I guess. But yeah, that's unusual. Anyway, we have successfully installed Windows Vista on the 2006 MacBook Pro, which shows that it can install pretty much anything. So we can have some more fun with this another time. I'm going to let it finish installing Service Pack 1, and then I'm just going to shut this down and probably never look at it again. Because that's usually what happens. And I will see you in the next video, where hopefully we are slightly more successful than this carnage was.